Just two adjacent girls living in a lovely world. They took a podcast train going anywhere, but kind of specifically through Austin, Texas. Yeah, hook 'em horns.
Adjacent, very near, next to, or touching. Our tailgate is adjacent to the left field fence. ADJACENT, adjacent.
Welcome back, y'all. Welcome to Adjacent. It's that time where we get to pay the bills. Are you ready, friends?
It's that time of the month.
It's that time of the month.
to pay
And
the bills.
honestly, we are so grateful because we've got some incredible sponsors supporting us in the month of May. These are people and businesses we truly love, and we know you will too. First up, our very own Adrian Gravy, my brother, with JB Goodwin, 18 Realtors. You go to for buying, selling, and investing right here in Austin, Texas. Adrian brings the hustle, the heart, and the results. If real estate is on your mind, he should be your first to call. Back again this month, our favorites at Cornucopia Popcorn. Y'all, this is not your average popcorn. What do you think, Shelly? Is it your favorite?
I love it.
We're talking gourmet, a small batch, wildly delicious flavors that are perfect for gifts, events, and just treating yourself. Once you try it, you're hooked. Use Shody Media for a 10% discount when you order. We have a new sponsor this year, this time, the Girly Birds, your go-to for effortless beauty. We are so excited. Welcome the Girly Birds to the Adjacent family this month. And y'all, this is next level self-care. Girly Birds specializes in timeless, low maintenance beauty that helps you wake up feeling confident and put together every single day. Think less time getting ready, more time living your life. Their services include permanent makeup like microblading, nano brows, powder brows, eyeliner, and lip brushing, brow shaping and touch-ups to keep everything fresh and flawless, fine line tattoos and permanent jewelry. What? For the subtle personal touch, professional ear piercing, and a clean, safe, and super welcoming space. Shelly, you did a lot of that stuff. Wasn't it incredible?
It is. And the ladies there are fantastic. And if you went to the Pound Town Founders Day down in Dripping Springs, and they had a booth and they were a big hit. Lots of people got permanent jewelry, had so much fun. And they're amazing. And if you tell them Adjacent sent you, you guys, you get $50 off of your service.
That's incredible.
$50 off.
Another sponsor of ours is Rudiment Skincare, but make it science. Okay, y'all, this is not your typical grab it off the shelf and hope it works skincare. This is the next level, personalized, science-driven skincare. And honestly, it's kind of blowing our minds. Rudiment is built on one simple idea. Your skin is unique, so your skincare should be too. Instead of guessing what products might work, Rudiment uses advanced diagnostic skills, AI technology, and real biological data to understand what your skin actually needs at a deeper level. Oh my gosh, they're incredible. They analyze key skin biomarkers and even your biological skin age. Looking beneath the depths and the surface to see what's really going on, not just what you see in the mirror. From there, they create a custom formalized program for you that's specially just for you to get rid of fine lines and aging. They help with elasticity and collagen support, skin repair, and overall health. This is what they call precision skincare. And it's exactly where the industry is heading.
It is. It's a huge movement. And this organization, Rudiment, there's other companies that have been doing it, but their price point is in the thousands. Thousands.
And they keep it at an affordable, advanced thing for you. You're going to be able to get all those great customized programs for you. So Adjacent perk, contact Bonnie Davenport. Tell her Adjacent sent you, get $30 off your personalized skin evaluation. Oh my gosh, Shelly, we are so grateful for each and every one of our sponsors this month. If you want to be part of the Adjacent family, contact Shelly to become an Adjacent sponsor. We would love to partner with you and share your story with our amazing community. And don't forget, join us on Patreon. It is where you're going to get even incredible interviews, fun stuff that we're doing. Crazy. We're stepping out. We're letting our free flag fly. You deserve it. You're our people. We've got something for everyone with 5 membership levels, free, $5, $10, $25, and $100 a month. At the $100 level, you will be named an official producer of the podcast. Yes, big deal status. Are you ready, Shelly?
Let's do it.
Let's get adjacent. Welcome back, y'all. Welcome to Adjacent. We are so excited, so blessed, and just you guys are going to fall in love today.
Again.
Again.
With a blast from the past.
Yay. But
Back.
she's back and she's moving into our future and helping us, come together again. So, Shelly, who do we have today in studio?
You guys, I mean, she was the glue of Austin. She kept Austin moving. She connected so many people. She was the voice of reason. She was a bright friggin' light. So much joy. I met so many people through Loriana. I am so grateful. When we started this podcast, you were on the top 10 list of like, we have to get Loriana on. Her story is so impactful and such a giver. I think she works 28 hours a day. I don't know how she does 28 hours a day, but I'm pretty sure she does 28 hours a day. She, her armor up, her honesty, her rawness is just impeccable. I mean, there's just bar none.
None. We have Loriana Hernandez Aldama in the house. Thank you so much for joining us
so
today.
Excited. I could not wait. I even messaged. I'm like, I'm ready early. I packed on my nails. I am ready to go.
Well, you look beautiful. You look like glowy and strong and gorgeous. So, we'll have to get it.
Very sweet. Because
we're gonna have to get into your routine because I am, I'm inspired. So,
I'm honored that you all are inspired because behind this is always a shit show going on. Because as I say, surviving survival after 2 cancers is incredibly difficult emotionally, physically, financially, on every level. But if you don't find joy in those little moments, you will end up down a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
And I ended up down many rabbit holes. So things like this bring me joy because that's what I say to my son every time he gets out of the car for school. Go spread kindness. You are my sun, my moon, my stars. Just be kind. Like, we are lacking kindness in this world. Go spread kindness and be grateful that your feet hit the ground this morning and you're breathing.
Yeah.
Agreed.
That's a great thing. Every parent should say that.
Just be kind. Just be kind. I mean, everybody's walked a journey. And I feel privileged to turn kind of my mess into my message and find my purpose. When Shelly and I met, and Jody, when I met you, I was a news anchor in Austin and was there. It was, God, I loved it. I was anchoring the evenings and then I moved to the morning show and I loved every bit of it. And then we were doing nonprofit work together and helping. And I loved every minute of it. But I truly believe that all of that, or even though it pains me because I want to go back to Austin, I miss everyone. I need Craig Piatti, who is the most amazing hairdresser there, to overhaul this look. But I truly believe that God put me through, gave me that great career in media for 25 years to do what I'm doing now. Like, that trained me to be able to be a voice for people all over the world in cancer care and all the things that I do and travel and speak about. So I miss it. I hate that we had to move, but I feel incredibly blessed to have found my purpose.
Agreed. And I think your message now is so impactful. And I mean, but take us through the whole journey. I mean, let's start from baby Loriana
Baby, I feel like that song. Let's start from the very beginning.
Yes, let's do it. Tell us your background.
Loriana, well, I will say my whole life, and I talk about this now when I speak, is that my whole life I was always my papi. He came from communist Cuba. He always told us, like if I complain about anything, he's like, "You have your health, yes. You have your life, yes. Okay, what are you complaining about? Like, stop complaining." And so that mantra and that message always pushed us. And I was always prepared in everything. Like swim team, I had extra goggles. If mine broke, boom, put the other. Everything was about being prepared. And throughout that preparedness has carried me through. And I talk about being prepared, whether you're a leader or whatever in life, being prepared matters. So even from swim team to being at school to being prepared for tests. And then that carried over into when I became a news anchor. And I know I just jumped my whole childhood, but it carried over.
We're going to keep going back until we hear the whole story.
Like being a news anchor, I remembered I got an internship at CNN and I was like, why am I doing all this work and hardly getting paid? First I was interning for free and then I was hardly getting paid. And I'm like, I'm going to be a news anchor. So whenever I'm going to be prepared, I'm going to have a suit in my locker. And one day someone's not going to show up and I'm going to look really good. And I practiced and I would buy people pizza and do all these things. And I was prepared and that's how I landed this fill-in spot, which led to other things. So preparedness, my whole life has all been about that. And I've always been, I would say, an overachiever. And that really is often.
Yes.
But Shelly, you're like that too. I mean, I've always been this overachiever that sometimes I also point out that sometimes that may have laid the groundwork for my illness, that there's a point as overachievers, we have to look and see, like, at what point is, killing ourselves and overworking a badge of honor. Because, I remember people would say, oh, you're working too much, you need sleep. And I'm like, I'll sleep when I'm dead, until that almost came true.
Yeah.
So I think I look back, I was very competitive my whole life. I was on every sport and I was all about overachieving. It was never good enough. And in some ways that was good because I'm very competitive. In some ways I look back and I'm like, wow, that may have laid the ground, that mindset without having some sort of balance may have laid the groundwork for where I landed.
Well, and I do think your journey has shared this with our age group, is that we can't function at 85 miles per hour. We have to slow it down to 2 miles per hour. No jokes, Jody.
No,
that's how fast I drive now. I'm like, that's
the only time she's not going too fast is when she's actually driving.
But I think the cortisol thing, I think that is new information. I don't know why it's new information, but I feel like living in that chaos and that we think that is normal is I love that those conversations are being had, and I think you're one of the voices behind that. I want to go back to, I had the great pleasure of meeting most of your family.
Yes.
And I'm very grateful for it. You're a sister to Lisa.
Yes.
Do y'all have any other siblings?
No.
Just the two of y'all.
Just my sister.
And you're so close.
I love that.
Your sweet mom and your amazing father. I mean, it was so lovely. And then, how's everybody doing?
I will say, and I say this with love, my mom is from the Bronx. And so when I was on TV for many years, she, if you're from New York, you don't mince words. And so she would say, people would stop me in Austin, hey, are you the news anchor? And she's like, yeah, and I'm her mother. And I'm like, or we would go out to eat and, they know who the news anchors are. And they would say, oh, Miss Hernandez, how is your food? My mom's like, it's enough for a bird. And I'm like, no, you can't say these things with me on TV. Just say it was amazing. Just say it was amazing. If it was enough for a bird, I will buy you more food when we leave. Yeah. So that Bronx style, I love my mom, But I always am like, what is she going to say next? Even when I was on CNN and I had a makeup artist and had a whole, crew of people. And she had the number for like the assignment desk, and she would call and they're like, Ms. Hernandez, she's on the air right now. You can see. And she's like, yeah, just ask her who the hell did her makeup. And I was like, so they're like, your mother called, breaking news. Who the hell did your makeup? And I was like, okay. So I love my mom, but if you're a New Yorker listening, you're from up north, she will tell it like it is.
I love it.
I love
My
it.
sister's husband, who wears cowboy boots when she first met him. Where'd you park your horse? So coming to Texas, I was like, I am in trouble. I am in trouble. And she is not changed. So I'm always like, I love her. And if my mom ever heard this, she would probably tell me off, because I'm always like, Mom, just spread kindness. Just be kind.
That is hilarious.
And she is kind, and she has the most loving heart and donates and helps people. And but she has no filter. She is Judge Judy to the max.
She is Judge
I love
Judy.
it.
She's Yankee Judge Judy.
Yankee Judge Judy. And I would tell her, we have to put the shopping cart back. I cannot be leaving the shopping cart out. Someone will take a picture. And it's just, I always put it back. So I'm not saying don't, but I was like, someone's going to take a picture and say something. She's like, well, why did they, the things she would say. And I'm like, Mom, just be on your best behavior when you're in public, because you never know. People would say stuff on TV. I was going through fertility treatment and I had gained some weight, and I'm the fitness reporter, and they'd be like, oh, it looks like you've gained. Are you still doing those workouts? So, people are blunt. And my mom wasn't the one saying that, but I'm saying, when you're on the air, you're under a microscope.
Oh, yeah.
And people will say anything, including my mother.
Yes.
And Poppy's doing well. Poppy has early dementia. It's very hard.
Oh.
And so trying to take care of him, and also make memories at every turn with my son, and then be there as a wife for my husband. And that's marriage is a struggle after cancer too. That's been hard. We've had to go through a lot of therapy, and most couples do after cancer, or should after cancer. Well, we all should, no matter what.
Agreed.
Going through.
Agreed.
Therapy.
Agreed. Can you speak to because you've seen the shift in media, and with The Devil Wears Prada, we just saw it yesterday.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. But it really talks about how media has shifted so much.
So dramatically.
And you've experienced it. What is your take on everything? Because you used to get print to read. They didn't have teleprompters. They didn't have.
Right. Well, I think it's a shift, because I should be posting. Everyone's like, you have so much content, you should post every day. I'm like, yes, I will. I go through phases, but I have to get out of the mindset that it has to look perfect. And, in news, we fact check everything. And I know some people will be like, who still like poo-poo on the media, think that we don't. And maybe you may find a reporter who doesn't, but I and the people I worked with would fact check. And so you don't just go on the air. You may go on the air and say, the update is we have no update. We're working behind the scenes. So for me to see so much media out there, I mean, I love it, because you think of like the Nancy Guthrie case and YouTubers out there. And you think of there's so many people telling stories, which is phenomenal. And sometimes it's hard for me just to turn the camera on and start talking, because I'm like, oh, my hair needs to be this way. Got to press on my nails.
You have your mom's voice in your head.
Yeah, right. Who the hell did you make up? I remember when I went from, I know we're jumping all around.
No, I love it.
I love it.
When I went from working at CNN, and I was a fill-in, and then I went to local news as a main anchor in Fresno, doing reporting up and down the state of California. And they would tell me, I'm like, who records my voiceover? And they're like, your two fingers, because at CNN, you'd have like someone do it for you. And I asked, who's doing my makeup? Your two finger, yourself. And then in local news, when they would say, oh, there's a fire out the door. And I'm like, but wait, I don't have my gear. My hair is not done. Can you send? And they're like, no, get out the door. So for me, I still come from this mindset that you have to be prepared. Like I said, preparedness, fit the part, be prepared, fact check. And I'd rather go on the air and say, my update is that we have no update and I'm working behind the scenes. And when I get a confirmed information, So it's been very hard for me to see so many people out there, but I think it's great because there's so much going on in this world. We need transparency. We need eyes and ears looking to see what's going on. I need to start posting more.
I mean, I agree. I think you need a personal assistant to just keep recording.
I do. Help me find that.
Yeah, you do for sure, because you have so much to say and you're so well spoken. Your story is so powerful. I want to hear more of it. I want to witness. I want to lay witness to it and to share it. And so don't let the perfection stop you.
Right.
Yes.
We are definitely the model for that.
We're the model for no perfection.
We say we have faces for email.
Oh no, you don't. You both are beautiful, beautiful souls inside and out. And I feel so blessed. Like a large part of my time in Austin was, well, it was all joyous, but made even better because you were my life.
Well,
oh my
Shelley,
I
came so close. It was so sweet.
I wish I could go back. So where was I going to go with
so
this?
As you were doing your news anchoring and doing an incredible job, you had some big challenges hit your life. Tell us about those challenges.
Well, first, the news industry was hard. Like I went through fertility. Viewers wrote in. I even had leadership say, "Oh, you're putting on some weight." I'm like, "Yeah, because I'm doing fertility." So there's a pressure. Like I look back, even when I was a size 8, I wasn't thin enough or good. And, even if I was good and the ratings were high, I wasn't enough. And they don't say it, but you're told that by certain leaders. I had a great news director, but certain leaders, other leaders will tell you things. And that messes with you. And so you always want to get the big story. And I tell now that I travel and speak literally around the world, and I feel blessed that I would I was so driven, I would bring my phone and put it under my yoga mat and wait for the right posture to tap the phone and make sure I didn't miss the big story. So again, overachieving, going nonstop, reported, I was getting up at 2 a.m, nursing my newborn son, Gabriel, anchoring the morning show, doing cooking shows at noon, getting off at 12:30, trying to run with Gabriel, cortisol high, so you're storing fat, stressing out, making memories with him. And then there's a gala, and then there's something. I bring him with me, and I'm like nursing him behind the curtain. And my life was like, I was like living the life, but I was choking.
Yeah. And I had a front row seat at that time.
Yeah,
I was with you a lot. I was like dragging clothes behind you, and we were running around town and breastfeeding and holding Gabriel while you're reporting. It was like, what's going
right? What is going?
That is insane.
It was insane because Caesar was out of town,
and my husband was working in another state. So here we are, and you look at it when you hear the story, you're like, this is messed up. My husband was living in another state, holding down his dream job. He was working for NBC Sports and leadership. And I had my dream job. And I was the network medical reporter and also anchoring and reporting in Austin. And so I'm like, I'm not quitting. I work too hard. You quit. And he's like, I'm not quitting. And so between that, trying to raise Gabriel, be by myself, all my money was going to this full-time nanny, but when I was off, I had Gabriel like here, and I was basically a single parent. So hats off to single parents. I mean, Caesar visited, but he couldn't visit all the time. He was in leadership. It was so stressful. And again, I was tired, but I was like, yeah, of course I'm tired. And who wouldn't be tired working that shift and doing all these things? And then you and I are like, oh, let's do some nonprofit work too. Let's put on a gala. Let's get sponsors. So in between, driving, nursing, I'm like, hey, do you want to be a sponsor for this health fair? Yeah. Trying to save everybody while not saving myself.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And all with a beautiful smile on your face and so gracious and kind and supportive. I mean, it just was, it was a fun ride.
But everyone.
But hard.
That's
too hard. You put too much pressure on yourself.
I did.
Something's got to give. Something's got to give it.
Well, and what gave was my health.
Yeah.
I share now when I speak, I have this warning sign. One of my first slides is like, have you ever been in a car and this warning light comes on? And if you're like me, it comes on, you're like, oh shit, now I have to call someone. I have deadlines. I got to pick up my kid. and it's never convenient. And then the light flickers and you're like, oh, never mind. The light went away. I don't have a problem. And you keep going. But really, a lot of us live our lives like that. And I had warning lights like would flicker and flicker. And it may have been exhaustion or bone pain or just random things. And I ignored them because the light was flickering. And I thought, well, it went away. The problem went away. But my news to everybody is that problem is festering underneath. And what was festering for me, what I had no idea was cancer.
No.
So I went to 2 oncologists in Austin, Texas, in Austin. Nothing against Austin, but it's not an NCI designated comprehensive cancer center like MD Anderson or Johns Hopkins.
No.
And those 2 oncologists said, you're just tired, overworked, and a new mom trying to have it all. You just need rest. I was like, yay, I just need rest. Finally.
They justified my bright light.
Just sit on my ass and rest. So I literally, I was in the middle of fertility treatment. Oh yeah, I threw in fertility treatment. I'm gonna have another baby. So we're celebrating. My friend's having mimosas. I'm having orange juice, and we're toasting that I don't have cancer. And then I call my fertility doctor because I get sick again. And he's like, I don't buy this. He's like, I want to order a bone marrow biopsy. I'm like, what the hell is a bone marrow biopsy? Now, mind you, I had volunteered for then Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, now Blood Cancer United. He came to my house, and I thought, oh, he'd lost the baby. I'm gonna be pissed. No, he came to my house with tears, like a man used to making dreams come true, shattered mine in like 3 words. You have cancer, AML leukemia. And I was like, you're a fertility doctor. Thank you, but you're wrong. And I said, I'm going to go. I want to get the blood test again. I was angry and pissed. Mind you, my husband's in another state. I get the blood work again. And it still says that he believes, he's like, I think you have leukemia. So I said, you know what? I'm not going to anybody here again. Nothing against Austin. But what I've learned is cancer is location, location, location. Now, you have doctors all over the world who are purpose-driven, passion-driven, but they're bound by limits. And at a community cancer center, they may not have the newest equipment. My oncologist compared it to an iPhone 8 versus a 17 or something, sometimes looking at a lens of a image. They may not have specialists, someone who's looking at breast all day or looking at blood cancer all day, like they have generalists. So to no fault of their own, what I've learned at these conferences is a lot of cancer gets missed because these oncologists are trying to do it all. God bless them. Because you have 80% of cancer patients getting their care at these community centers, and they can't keep up. It's changing so fast. So I said, that's it. I'm not going anywhere in Austin. I'm done. And I send I leverage connections, which you shouldn't have to do to survive, go on social media, and I humble myself. And I'm like, yes, the clean eating, green drinking, yoga enthusiast with a cooking show about drink this, not to get cancer, has cancer, and I need help. Now, I was so embarrassed, and I say this because sometimes people are humiliated and feel guilty to admit that they have cancer. But I had to, because I said, if you want to live, you got to ask for help. Like asking for help is a survival skill.
Yes.
So I waved the flag, asked people for help. I ended up with the GOAT, the world-renowned oncologist for AML leukemia at Johns Hopkins. And I get on the phone with him within 24 hours. And he's like, I need to see you right away. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to go to Atlanta and bring my son to Atlanta, and my mom can watch him so my husband can meet me. And he's like, no, say goodbye to your son. Get on a plane. We have a bed waiting for you. You're dying. And I'm like, dying? I couldn't feel the floor beneath me. I was baffled. I said, but wait, they told me I just needed rest. He's like, you're dying. Get on a plane. I literally handed Gabriel over to a friend Craig, my hairdresser, in the airport. Say goodbye, and I heard Gabriel's cries, "Mommy, mommy," echo down the jetway, and I walk away, not knowing if I would ever see my son again. And to this day, every time I get on a plane, that's why you can't judge people when they get on early. I get on early because every time I walk on a jetway, I have PTSD, and I cry because I hear "Mommy, mommy, mommy," and I all of a sudden think I'm going to die. And so I have to get on early. I have to sit down. I have to compose myself because I'm a mess. So the PTSD and trauma that I live with just from that whole experience, just from the year. So I checked myself into Johns Hopkins by myself, waiting while Caesar, my husband, took Gabriel to Atlanta, handed him over in baggage claim. And I got to Hopkins and they're like, you can't have the second baby. I fought with them wanting to stop everything. They had a medically induced menopause, which I'm like worried about weight gain. They're like, listen, you're going to die. Like, we have to stop. Here I'm like, but what about my ass? Like, no, you're dying. So they stopped that. So, you go through losses. Like, I lost the second baby I wasn't going to have. Started to lose my hair, lost my career, took away my son. Lost basically in many ways my relationship with my husband because you're patient caregiver. You're kissing over a mask. And then you start, I literally lived there for a year. A year. And you lose friends on the hall. Like the next day, someone you walked with is gone. You're like, where's Ryan? I walked with him yesterday. He went home. Like, home? That trauma is like something else I advocate for is the mental health. I live with PTSD and depression. And they say with blood cancer, because the stays are so long, is like a war veteran. So a lot of the advocacy I do now, and I know I'm jumping around, is about mental health. Like, we can't just give a patient a drug. Like, if you don't treat the whole patient, we're not staying on your trial. We're not staying on treatment. I only stayed in there because I'm a stubborn, pain in the ass Latina. But a lot of people say, screw it. I'm out. I'm done.
Yeah.
So there's much more to the story, but that was how it all started. And that's it. Part of the reason that I get emotional is because I had to leave Austin in such a trauma. I didn't get to leave the way I wanted to leave. Like, people move out and they're like, oh, it's new adventures, but I have great memories. No, I had to leave like in trauma, screaming, crying, worrying about death. And so I've gone back a few times, but it's just so painful of how I
Right.
abruptly.
Yeah, I hear you. That would be oof.
Well, and as somebody that was in your circle at the time, I think we had like a lunch scheduled like 2 weeks later or whatever, and you were just gone, and we were like, what? I mean, we're all calling each other, going, what the heck? Who's there? Who's there for her? Who can fly up? Let's all pitch in hours and flight money. Who can go sit with Loriana? We were all just like, what the hell?
Because you have to.
Out of nowhere.
I had to get a spreadsheet, literally. That's why I say who you know and what you know should not determine if you live. Because I had to get a spreadsheet and like assign people days and volunteers. I literally had so we moved to a new town in Ashburn, Virginia, about an hour drive from Baltimore. Caesar could move there and from Bethesda where he was working, and we could like have a community and then he could come see me. So I had like strangers. So I had a neighbor who heard of me in their new neighborhood because, I was still in reporter mode. I was like, get me a fucking microphone. I am going to tell everybody because I'm going to report from my bedside because how did I miss these stories?
Yeah.
Part of it was redemption. I'm like thinking I would get assigned stories in the news business and my news director would be like, oh, we have another health story. We want you to do a story on cancer with this pain. And I'm like, but I just did a story on cancer last week.
Yeah.
And so part of me was like, I kind of grouped it all as one.
No.
And I was like, how dare I? Because there are so many cancers and so many gaps and disparities. So I started reporting about everything I was witnessing and thought, you know what? I am going to just tell it like it is and make up for all the stories I never did.
Yeah.
It was so powerful. It was so powerful.
Incredible.
But I mean, it really was like the early on adoption of YouTube for me is like watching you go through this process and being such an advocate through the process.
People ghosted me too. There were, and ghosting is very popular in cancer because people don't know what to say. So if you know someone you love who has cancer, you can just text them and say, I don't know what to say, but I'm thinking of you.
Right.
Because ghosting them is the worst thing because you already feel isolated. You're scrolling through Facebook, sitting in bed, and you're hearing someone complain that they didn't get their beach home. And you're like, well, I'm just trying to live to see my son. So I'm sorry you didn't get your beach home.
Yeah.
And so anybody, like I had so many people who were supportive like you, but I'm in another city, in another town with no support. And I had to go there because I had privilege and I had access. And it was my only hope to survive.
Yeah.
And so we have to do a part 2 of from the cancer side of everything. There's so much I can help educate that I do to help educate cancer patients. Because I mean, we're going to do a part 2 because
I'm going to do a part
2. Just a little snapshot. Location matters. Breast mammograms miss 20 to 50% of cancers, like it did mine, because 5 years later I got breast cancer. If you have cancer breast, so we need a whole other podcast of part 2. Let's talk about the education. But the trauma and the PTSD, I'm all about community, like you both know that. And so I built my own community in the hospital. Like I became their cheerleader, and I'm like, hey, Alberto, get your ass up. We got to walk. We're going to die. Get up. Ryan, get up. Paul, get up. And they're like, the HIPAA people would come to me and they're like, you cannot go to people's doors and make them get up. I'm like, yes, I can. Yes, I can. I am going to make people armor up. And this is where I came up with the term armor up. We have to put our armor on.
Yes.
Doctor said, put your armor on. You're going to be here for a year. And when people were like, oh, we're tired, I'm like, listen, if you take the pain medicine, you're going to be too tired the next day to walk, and it's going to build the cycle. I said, I know we're in pain. I'm in pain. But if you can find a way to lessen hitting that button or take less, you can get up and we got to walk. Because I was watching people every day, somebody else on our hall would die.
Yeah.
So I became the cheerleader and the pain in the ass, but the HIPAA people were following me around. And I would put a note on my door. I wish I still had it because I have one on one of my slides. Gone walking, please wait for me for rounds. And I would find the admin building and I was like, listen, why is there sugar in this smoothie that you're giving me? Like, I don't need sugar. Where's your healthy shit? And so they were like, she is unleashed. They're like, patient unleashed on 5G. I was like, listen, you can take me out of the newsroom, but you can't take the reporter out of me. I am right to change endings here. I will tell stories and change endings today. So that really kept me focused. And I would say that anybody who has cancer that if you give them purpose, like my news director, she gave me purpose. She said, listen, every Wednesday, maybe it was Tuesday and Thursdays, but at first it was every Wednesday, whatever your report is, we're going to air it. And so I said, okay. So the doctors would save me for last. And I was like writing, I'm like, okay. So, and I would ask more questions because I wanted to know how it applied to everybody, like a reporter. And they would save me for last because I asked 1 million questions. But I felt like I can't die now. I'm educating people.
Yeah,
exactly. Purpose. So if you can give someone purpose, it's a game changer.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sad that this was your purpose.
Yeah,
I'm glad you did all the good work, but I'm sad that it was you. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sad it's anybody, but I think going through that gave you such clarity in what other people are going through. I mean, I'm listening to you, and then just how kind you are to be such an advocate for others. I mean, some people can sit and wallow in it. You're like, I'm going to use this as
I have to
getting the message out.
And some people will say, and my mom, this is my mother, you think it's really healthy for you to go out to these conferences? Your PTSD is terrible. And I'm like, Mom, and now my son comes with me sometimes. I said, Mom, some people choose not to talk about it. When I get depressed, which is probably every day I have a little cry about something, I sit and write. Like my husband knows when I disappear to our bedroom upstairs, to our guest room, I need to write. And that's my therapy. And I'll write a new speech. I have a speech on returns on well-being. And like most keynote speakers have like one speech. I'm like, no, I have 50 because I go up there and I'm like, I have another speech to write, a new audience, even if I haven't been asked to do it yet. And God will bring that speech, that audience to me. But that's how I cope, is helping others, because it is very depressing because 5 years to the day. We're celebrating. First of all, I get this like bike with my son, and I bike around this Weehoo bike, pulling him around town because I can't be around people when I got out. We skipped over the transplant. So I now don't know how much time you have, so I'll fast forward. But I get out of the hospital after a year. He doesn't recognize me. There's no reintegration program. I'm having nervous breakdowns. I have new DNA because I had a bone marrow transplant, a new birthday. The old person is like dead. I have trouble celebrating the original birthday because I'm like, who the hell is that? I don't even know her. I don't feel like her. Don't feel as thin as her. So I have this new birthday. We have birthday cake every October 29th for my new transplant birthday. And on the 5th anniversary, we have a birthday party. And what happens? I get a freaking call that says, you have cancer, breast cancer. And I was like, are you punking me? Like, you've got to be freaking kidding me. Like, I've had enough chemo. I've had 8 different chemotherapies, full body radiation, not precision where they just target one little tiny, like put me in a room and they blasted me, which causes long-term complications now. And I'm like, are you kidding? I had a mammogram. The mammogram missed it. The ultrasound caught it, which is another episode.
Mm-hmm.
So there I was, going back to war, new scans, new scars, new fears. My husband's son, now Gabriel's 5 years older, going through the trauma. Nobody listened to me because I was at a new hospital. And it was a great academic center, but they didn't listen that I had leukemia and that I don't heal well. So it took 5.5 months of a nurse at my house for a hole in my breast to heal. So you go through this trauma, you lose all these things, including your breast, and you look in the mirror and you're like, who the F are you? Like, what's your name? And you go through depression. So I'm like, if I didn't like try to lift other people up, I would be in a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
So,
and
I know, you feel like, okay, because I don't know how much time I have.
No, you can.
well,
we
go
have all
back
day.
to,
We have all day.
the transplant. I want to know more about the transplant.
So the bone marrow transplant, first, when I had my leukemia, typically most people, they do like 30 days of chemo and then they'll send you to transplant. But then they had no match for me because I'm Cuban and the registry was mostly white. Now they have workarounds and they can most likely find someone for Latinos and people of mixed background. So they said, your sister is your only match. But if she does not pass the physical test and she had a heart murmur, I'm like, well, what will happen? Like, I'm thinking there's always a plan B. And the doctor's like, well, you'll succumb to the disease and die. And I'm like, what? So all these moments, I go through the transplant, but I need 100 days of transplant housing. Who's going to watch me for 100 days? Because it's an attached housing. I made up a spreadsheet again, and I had strangers, friends like Shelly. Let's say, Shelly, you sent a stranger. I would have people show up. I had this one girl show up. I'm friends with her now, but she was like all into Deepak Chopra. And mind you, I love yoga, but I couldn't breathe. I was going through this disease where it closes your neck, your throat up. So I'm like laying, trying to just breathe. And she's like, breathe it, breathe. And I was like, I think you're going to have to go. I think you're going to have to go. So I had strangers, but she's amazing soul. I'm friends with her to this day. And then my dad came, and my dad wasn't in good health then. And I'm like, listen, have you ever seen the movie Weekend at Bernie's? Like, I just need someone breathing. I will prop you up because they will not do the transplant if you don't have a caregiver. I was there for another 100 days, away from friends, away from Austin, away from a support system. And most people, like you all have kids. My friends couldn't leave their kids for a week and care for me.
Yeah.
People forget that, and they won't give you the transplant unless you have support. You can't qualify. So I go through that 100 days of more housing away from my kid. We go home, and then I get home, and like a week later, my husband's like, I have good news and bad news. I'm like, you have cancer? He's like, nope, I lost my job. That's the bad news. The good news is I found another one. It's like it's middle management, but I have to move to Philly. And I was like, but I could not move. They didn't know if I was going to live for 2 years. The transplants don't just work like that. So my poor husband had to leave us again, go live in Philly in an apartment. We're trying to pay for an apartment, pay for our new house. And I have a 3-year-old now who's now taking care of me, calling my husband saying, Mommy's sick again. She's on the floor. The trauma now my son speaks about it because people want to know, like, he's like, I don't remember it all, but I remember how I felt, like trying to take care of you at age 3. My whole life I've been helping. So I go through the transplant, and then, you have this new birthday, long-term complications. And because of the full body radiation, my genetics don't even matter. I'm at risk of all cancers, like every cancer. My doctor said, people who get cancer, and you will be looking over your shoulder the rest of your life. That is anxiety producing.
Yeah.
So I got home, and my husband's gone. I'm in a new house. My son's taking care of me. I literally was suicidal. We lived in a carriage home in DC, attached housing, beautiful house connected to another neighbor. And she didn't know me, but I was having a nervous breakdown, literally banging my head on the wall, thinking, how did I survive for this? Like, I've lost almost everything. I have my son, but I can't even care for him. And I have no husband here. We're paying our bills. It is a lot.
A lot.
But that's how I started speaking. Like, someone gave me my first opportunity to speak. And first of all, you have to remind people of your value, because they're like, this is your first speech. I'm like, oh, no, honey, I've been speaking for 25 years as a news anchor.
Right.
This is my first speech post-cancer.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people like want you to go do all these things, and they're like, like they're doing you a favor. I'm like, I am trying to save people.
Yes.
I still value my time.
Yes.
Anyway, it just organically happened, and I started speaking not just about cancer, but about overcoming adversity and always being prepared. Like I talked about, being prepared for the unexpected. I came up with this term in the hospital called prepare, present, prevail with my oncologist. He said, you have to prepare yourself for illness so you present well to your medical team and you're better positioned to prevail. It's prehab.
Right.
But that applies to all of us. Like, Shelley and Jody, you prepare yourself for whatever you want, your podcast, whatever, you present better and you're better positioned to prevail.
Right.
So I started talking just everywhere about overcoming, being unstoppable. And God has just blessed me because he knew I was going down a deep end and I needed an outlet.
Yes.
Right.
And your love for helping other people. He was like, you have to share these stories. I mean, I would love to go through everything we all kind of learned through your process, like, the transplant wasn't, the transplants available were not diverse. That was a huge thing.
Yes.
We've had a friend come on the podcast a couple times, and he shares about life in prison, and it's so impactful because a lot of us don't know those stories.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know how that plays out in real time, and that's what you did with your sharing of your experience with cancer. It's like, yeah, we have a family history of cancer, so we need to be prepared for that. And we need to get our bodies ready to fight that fight because it's, it's very likely. And so it's like, having those mindsets and thinking about that and just really, gearing up for it and armoring up was such impactful. But I mean, I felt like every time you shared something, I learned something new about the process. But also like the mental health of the family. I know the mental health of the whole family.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's hard on you. It had to be so hard on both of your parents.
Mm-hmm.
Lisa's experience, Ryan's experience with Lisa, Lisa's 2 girls' experience with Lisa. I mean, how much it impacts the whole community. And since you were such a force in the Austin community, I mean, it affected a lot of people.
Right.
You getting sick. But mostly, I mean, you and Gabriel just like, my heart. I mean, like the stress for him.
He now talks about it. My mom was like, are you sure? I was like, yes. He got asked to speak a few times. And he said, Mom, I've had this story written in my head since I'm 3. I want people to know, and that's how he wants to cope. I don't make him. He got to speak the day after his 14th birthday, and I was like, you do not have to go. We will travel the day before your birthday. I don't want you traveling to talk about cancer on your birthday. He's like, I want to be there because he talks, and I couldn't believe some of the stuff he was saying because he said, Mom, when you're done, leave the stage because you interrupt. And I've been wanting to tell this story since I'm 3. So I said, okay, I'm going to leave the stage. But I couldn't believe the trauma that he shared and he talked about. But now I think it's so healthy. And if that's what he wants to do, that's important because he's like me. We want to change. I said, I don't want to just tell stories. I want to change endings. And that means influencing and teaching people not just about cancer, but overcoming. Like, you have to know that what are you going to do when the next shoe drops, whether it's cancer, job loss. Like, I had to remind myself, I may have lost my job, but I didn't lose my gift.
Right.
Yes.
Well, it took me 10 years to finally say that because you look in the mirror and you don't have breasts. You're bigger than you've ever been. You're medically induced in menopause. And you're like, I have no worth. And to look at yourself and think, I'm useless, I have no worth. I can't, there was so much that you go through that I'm like thinking I wasn't thin enough when I was on TV when I was an 8 to leadership. Now I'm a 12, so you think you're not good enough. But I had to teach myself that I am. And that if anybody's out there losing a job, you lost your job, not your gift. You didn't lose your worth.
Yeah.
And so now I went out and I've been speaking all about clinical trials and cancer, but now I speak to people about really taking a hard look about pruning in your life, cutting back what no longer serves you. Like, I never did that. Listening to your warning signs. Like, if you don't prune a tree, it, can have a slow death. Like, things grow out of control. It's more likely to die. And I look back at my life now through a different lens. And I'm thinking I could have pruned. I could have done things differently. But I hope I can do that for other people. Like the mind, when we went through the pandemic and everyone's like, I'm going to be more present and I'm going to live life to the fullest. I'm like, this is going to last people like 6 months. But if they go through cancer, that lens will change forever. Like, I wish people would hold on to that lens because, like, mom's complaining the car line. Oh, the car line's so long. I'm like, you know what? I don't give a shit how long I'm so happy to be alive, to be in a car line. Yeah. I'll do it every day. I'll line up I'll be the first person because I can't wait to pick up my kid. Yeah. So the lens has changed. And my goal is to, like, remind people of not just their worth, but just being fully present.
Right.
Taking your hat, just in life. And also to acknowledge that mental health is health and it matters. Cortisol is a big deal. Like, when you stress causes inflammation. Inflammation's a fertilizer for cancer. So there's so much, and I know we're going to run out of time.
No, please don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
See, the reporter, I'm like watching the clock.
No.
I had a chance to teach a Coursera for Rice University. I'm honored that they asked me about understanding cancer, but I've been partnering with some researchers over the years because I wanted to go back and say, how the hell did this happen to me? I'm the clean eating, green drinking yoga enthusiast, and tell people, drink this green drink and you're not going to get cancer. But the truth is, you still can get cancer. It's how you show up that matters. How you show up to anything helps determine how you set yourself up for success. I was fit. They gave me the strongest dose of chemo, and that's why I'm alive. I'm broken. I came out broken and alive. Broken marriage, struggling. But therapy and trying to get back on my feet has been very helpful. And the speaking has been just very rewarding for me to make a difference. So that's been very helpful because I want to remind people. I see people all the time just working, and like, I'll sleep when I'm dead. I'm like, I used to say that.
Yeah.
But I will say, okay, see, I'm having all these random thoughts. When you go through cancer, and I don't know if it's everyone, or maybe because I'm at conferences like twice a month with like world leaders. I've been to Portugal, Amsterdam, I'm going to Serbia. Maybe that wasn't on my list yet.
Was it on your bingo card?
It wasn't. But they invited Gabriel and I to speak in Serbia and the UK this year. So I'm literally learning from people, all like world-renowned people.
Yeah.
And so when I see things, kind of like when I was a reporter and you would hear you'd hear about a motorcycle crash and you have instant stats. Like, did you know? Because you reported on it. Now I have so many statistics about cancer that I feel like I want to share with people.
Yes.
But I feel like it also hinders me from having good friendships. And that's been hard because I feel like I've made some great friends, but some friends I get emotional. I almost feel like they don't really want to spend time with me. They'll hang out with me like for, let's go to a pumpkin patch. But I don't feel like they really want to spend time with me because everything affects me because of cancer.
Yeah.
And so I try not to say it, but okay, I can't stand in a line at Six Flags because I have neuropathy. I can get the card and go back, or I can't get on that ride because I have no bone density because of the medicine and the chemo, or I live in a world of can't, so I have to focus on what I can. But it does, I feel like I have to, like with certain friendships, I have to limit that. And I hate that.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel as accepted, like, oh, here she comes. She's, but I can't help it. And I, like my son wants to get blue Gatorade. And I told him 15 times, they're talking about that in the conferences. You have cancer genes. I don't try to talk about cancer all the time. Stop drinking the blue freaking Gatorade.
Yeah.
And
avoid the red dye. Avoid the red dye.
Right. To which I was told from someone else, you're a killjoy. And I was like, well, guess what? I'm alive and I want to make sure my kid is.
Exactly.
But I do find that it's that sometimes the friendships are hard after cancer, and because I don't feel understood, and I feel like I know too much, which is why I should be doing, my little social media clubs. I've learned so much going to conferences, literally with the world's top leaders in lung cancer, breast cancer, from world leader conferences, and sitting there. I don't just, most keynote speakers, they go to the stage and then they get whisked away and they're like, you're different. You stay here. I'm like, yeah, because you know why?
I want to learn.
I want to learn because I want to change endings. So if the other keynote speakers are too busy, and they want to leave, they can leave. The other conference, I stayed 3 days and they're like, why are you still here? I'm like, I'm taking notes so I can educate people.
Exactly.
That's just what I feel like my purpose is. But the more I learn, I feel like it does isolate me from some people who are like, she's always got something to say about cancer.
It reminds me of the book, The Giver. It's a kid's book. But it's about like a person who's given the gift to see
the real world.
The real world. See and I feel like when you've been given more knowledge than the average bear, it's kind of like those people that are in the war room and they know what's really going on and everybody else is going about their life. And so you have been blessed and burdened.
Yes.
With this knowledge, and other people want to live in their,
bubble.
In their bubble. And so, I have to tell you, we've lived with so many people who've had cancer, and listening to your son's story, I'm like, oh, yep, I can resonate with that for sure. I remember stories, but I don't. Sometimes I like to live in my bubble, but sometimes I just like the knowledge. I like the realness of it. And I love hearing people's stories because it is a blessing, but it's also a burden. And
it is,
your friends that want to go to the pumpkin patch, it's like they see as like, they think maybe they're helping you in a way of like giving you a break from the cancer, whereas you want to just share
forget it.
Yeah, you can't. It's right on the tip all the time in your brain.
She's a reporter 24/7. This is Loriana. If you're having a conversation about mimosas and she knows facts about mimosas, she's going to share all those
like
facts
that.
about mimosas. I
Yeah.
mean, she is constantly reporting, and it's like, but I would love for you, and you don't have to do it right now, but to come up with how is the best way to support somebody on your journey? Because we all have loved ones. And how's the best way to support your son? How's the best way to support Caesar? Because we've had friends that are on this journey, and I know I have foot and mouth and I say the wrong things, but I mean, I want to be there, and I want to be there in the right, impactful way.
Right.
And so I think sharing that would be so helpful for people. And Loriana, I mean, the same thing. I have a child with autism and obsessed with
Right.
learning everything I can about autism. Jody was a teacher for 30 years in a behavioral unit dealing with mental illness, and she became obsessed with that and sharing that. I mean, I think that's a natural part of your life, and it was such a huge part of your life.
Yeah, it was. And, that's why I feel like it's so healthy. It's better for me when I'm around people who are so driven, like you're driven by autism. And I was too, and I still am, but I'm driven by oncology that's taken over my life.
Yeah.
And Jody, driven by mental health. People who are because we all like can say to each other, oh, you can share, like, did you know this statistic or did you know that?
Exactly.
But I also have like my PTSD controls me. Like if someone says, Shelly, if you were to say, hey, we're going to go get drinks in Atlanta for my husband's birthday or someone's birthday on this Friday, whatever Friday at 8 p.m. I'm like, I'm not going to Atlanta at 8 p.m. I don't want to. I'm not going to Atlanta. I can't see in the dark because of my chemo. And I don't really, there's some crime. So I'm like, what part of Atlanta are you going to?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I don't want someone to drive me because I have anxiety, because I don't trust their driving. And are they going to have a drink? And then I start thinking, so I'm like, well, you know what? Let me know when you're celebrating closer to home. But
Exactly.
I don't want to have to give them like the whole story of like, I can't see in the dark because of chemo. I don't drive far because of chemo,
Yeah.
Well,
It controls
honestly,
me.
yeah. But I mean, everybody has friends that they have their boundaries and limitations. And I prefer a playbook. I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
I want to be part of Loriana's life. Here's the playbook. We all need to be home by 4. I support that cause. I like to be at home watching TV and enjoying reading a book, and that's just how I play. And yeah, I mean, I think people would benefit from that.
That should be one of my books for PTSD. I am writing a book about mental health. I should have one called The Playbook.
The Playbook.
Austin is different. It's grown like so much since I've left, but you have the city, but then you have like neighborhoods not far. It's not like driving in Atlanta on a derby.
Oh, hell no.
There's some areas of Atlanta where, I'm going to just say it, that there's more crime.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to just go hang out on the streets of Atlanta because we want to go make memories for someone's birthday. No, we can make memories at 4 p.m.
Exactly. Well, I was going to tell you, Loriana, Shelly and I, we do not like to stay out late. So when people are like, all right, the party starts at 8, we're like, okay, well, let us know when you're going to brunch because we're not doing 8 o'clock.
We're not doing
I've heard there's places where they have the like mom clubs where you can go to the club and it's like 4 o'clock. That's my kind of club. Like
exactly.
I love to dance. Like have a club that opens at 4 or 5 and close, by 7, we can go up in the club.
Yeah. But in Drooping Springs, just south of Austin, they have a country and western bar on Sundays that opens at noon and closes at 4.
My kind of bar.
Yes.
My kind of bar.
And I love that we're having these conversations because, hey, people that own restaurants and bars and stuff, you want us to come. You want us to be at your event. We have a friend that's a comedian, and she's starting to do their shows at like 4 o'clock. So the middle-aged women will come to her show.
A friend of mine plays mahjong, whatever, and she's like, "Hey, you didn't come last time." I said, "Yeah, because you had it at 7 o'clock and you live in the country. Like you have it at like on a Sunday at 2, I might show up."
Yeah. Are y'all in Peachtree City now?
We're in Peachtree City.
Yeah, I love it.
Are you familiar with Peachtree City?
I lived it. I'm married to an Atlanta boy.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
We have
Both of my boys were born at Cobb Hospital. Both of the boys were born at Cobb Hospital. So
we have a golf cart, a 6-seater with Apple Play, and Gabriel just, up in the that's my up in the club. We go to the farmers market on Saturdays in the golf cart, blasting the music.
Yeah.
Coco with the dog. But we love it. I mean, I do miss Austin. I miss kind of like the mindset, just kind of the vibe of Austin.
Yeah. Well, Peachtree City is a dream. I'm sorry.
It is, but it's different. But it's growing, and it's also gotten more diverse and more worldly.
You brought the diversity. You brought the diversity. We lived in Sharpsburg for 2 years, right down the road from you.
So my son goes to school in Sharpsburg.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay, tell us what Gabriel's doing. He's playing golf.
He's playing golf, and he was playing basketball, but he decided that's not his passion anymore.
Okay.
And he's just obsessed with golf, and he's really focused on that, and he loves it. And I think it's very calming for him, because he went through. He's not anxious at an anxious person, but he was growing up, and he found such peace with golf. And the same thing is now, like he told me, Mom, when I go on stage, I have no anxiety. Like he's like, everything goes away. And I was like, oh, you are my son.
Yeah. And and how tall is he?
He is like 6'10", size 12 shoe. I know, I cannot.
Where did the height come from?
Well, Caesar's 6 feet or 6'1", but no, it's not like a super tall family. I'm 5'3".
Yeah.
He has grown, but also I would just say spiritually, academically, professionally. He's just grown, and it's made me so proud. He does go to a Christian school, and we love our public schools here. We have great public schools, but it just worked out that we were invited to go to a Christian school, and I've just seen him change in remarkable ways. And every kid is different, but he needed that because of the anxiety. And after my cancer, he did go through some times of stuttering. And he said, Mom, when I'm on stage, I don't stutter. I don't feel like he went through a lot, taking care of me and watching me almost die twice and visiting me. And so having him at this Christian school has been a game changer. In fact, the first time he spoke, we were at this conference, and we didn't plan on it. He was dressed up, but he was just going to come up on stage at the end. But they're like, oh, do you want to speak? So I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm trying to protect my son. Like, oh, Gabriel, just say thank you for the work that you do. And he was like, I got this. So he got up there, but these are world-renowned researchers from like Dana-Farber, Johns Hopkins, MD Anderson. And so they're asking him questions, and he's fielding them like he's this pro, and he did phenomenal. But then someone's like, well, what do people need? Like, what can we give them? What do they need to, be able to cope and get through a parent having cancer? And he's like, they need Jesus. And mind you, they all need Jesus. And we're at a professional, I'm not saying you can't take people to church, but in a business setting, you have to be respectful of everybody's, we have
religion,
all faiths.
Right.
Jewish, Muslim, so he doesn't understand that you have to say, maybe just lean on your faith. So he's like, they need Jesus. Everybody needs Jesus. And he starts giving Bible verses. And I was like, well, I'll be damned. There is my son. But he said, he said, Mom, he told him, if I didn't have my faith, I wouldn't have gotten through all this, because I know I'm grown up enough to know that your cancer could come back. I do have anxiety over it. I know that it could come back and it could be bad. I don't want it to, but if I didn't have Jesus in my heart, I wouldn't be able to get through that anxiety of worry.
Yeah.
So this next time he went and spoke for a big pharmaceutical company, and I was like, listen, I know we love Jesus, but you can't take them to church.
Yeah.
You can take them to church, but you can't take them to church.
Right.
You can say, I leaned on my faith, and whatever faith it is, so, but being young, he was like, I don't understand. Why can't we tell everybody about, so we are telling everyone about Jesus, but there are some
different denominations.
Yeah. And we're still respectful of everybody's faith.
Right.
But in a work setting where you have so many, you're not at church, you're at a setting where we have to respect everybody's faith.
Right.
And you can tell them that you leaned on your faith and they can lean on theirs.
Yes.
And so, and he wrote 2 children's books. We're getting one illustrated right now.
Oh my gosh.
And so I put my book on hold to help him with this because I was like, this is really special that he had. And so we're working on that.
Oh my
to talk about the weight
Lance.
that you carry when you just struggle with carrying the weight of problems.
Right.
So he's doing a lot, and I'm so excited.
Oh
And,
my gosh.
I just can't wait to see. But I put all my stuff except, I'm doing my speaking, but I have a book that I was like half written that I put on hold because I'm like I can't do traveling all the time and then helping him with his book,
And
bringing
taking
him
care of dad and all
right,
this.
taking care of my
Oh,
dad, helping my mom.
Yes.
It's been a lot. So
oh my Lance. Well, how do
Yeah.
people find you? How do people support you? We want there's
So
definitely gonna be a part 2.
Yeah.
But
there is going to be a part 2 and a part 3. We got so much.
Yeah.
to
So
cover.
much to
we're
talk
down.
about.
We're down.
So you can find me. I'm, of course, that's why I said when you reached out, I'm like, can we wait a little? I'm rebranding my website. I do have a website called Loriana Hernandez Aldama.com. And that's where you'll see all my speaking stuff. It's in the middle of being rebranded. So it still has the same message. It's just different messaging, but it has me on there. My email address is Loriana@LorianaHernandezAldama.com. That's for my speaking to I would love to go speak. I would love to come back to Austin and
Yes, we would love
about
that.
overcoming and prepare, present, prevail, and
Yeah.
things like that. You can find me on social media. You can reach out in any way. There's nothing better than living your purpose.
Exactly. And Loriana is very responsive.
Yes.
You're not gonna send her a message and not hear back from her.
No.
For
and
6
I'm good
months.
with
She's
that,
very
'cause
responsive.
ghosting drives me crazy. If I'm busy, I will say received. I am busy. Can I write you in 2 weeks?
Yeah.
But I will get back. I will get back to you. I really am all about just taking my message around the world, and
Yes.
hopefully I've been all over the place lately.
Yeah.
Except I have not been back to Austin in a while. So we're going to manifest Austin. Maybe
Let's
Miraval.
manifest Austin.
Maybe
Yes.
we can go to Miraval and
Oh,
Well, and
Yeah.
when you come to Austin, if you bring your son, we'll go play Butler Park with him, and he could be the best ball the whole time. So
yeah,
it's a fun
that
spell.
would be amazing.
It's only 9 holes, but
I actually would
it's
love
fun.
it.
we do love to manifest.
Yes.
Can you
Yes.
tell us, where would you love to speak the most? Where would you love to have your story, an opportunity to share your story the most?
Oh, wow. Well, I would say I would love to do more leadership retreats to talk about listening to the warning signs, the return on well-being, ROI
Okay.
and well-being. I'm doing a lot in oncology, and I want to keep doing that because I want to educate. So I'm talking to a lot of healthcare leaders about reminding them of their why. I would love to continue to talk to, not in the space like in the cancer survivorship people, but the people who think they're invincible.
Yeah.
Those people, like how the person I used to be, like, oh, nothing's going to happen to me.
Yeah.
And then the space of the return on well-being and talking to leaders about overcoming adversity. Austin, Texas, wellness retreats, Miraval. I've been to Miraval in Arizona, right?
Mhm.
It was amazing. So I would say Scottsdale, Austin.
Yeah.
Where else do we want to go?
Yeah. Where do we want to go? Yeah, let's do it.
Because a lot of mine recently, I went to San Diego, went to Chicago twice, went to Florida twice, Orlando twice, then Tampa. So it's just been different places. And then I'm going to Serbia in the UK. But yes, let's manifest Austin so I can come back.
Can all hang out. Yeah.
Yeah. We would love
hang out.
it. We would love
And we'll
it.
do it early.
Let's do it early. Yes.
We're all asleep by 6 p.m.
And we'll pick you up. We'll pick you up.
Because that's what I tell, when I speak, because I keep trying to tell people, yes, I'm the keynote, but I'm not fancy. They're like, what's your rider? And I'm like,
yeah.
my rider is I need some gluten-free food and I need a driver. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't need special drinks. just gluten-free food and a driver. Like I need a big car because I get anxiety that I might get in an accident. So I have a big car waiting and gluten-free snacks and some friends. And I'm happy.
There you
I
go.
don't have this long list of things. I just want to be kind and change lives.
Oh my
And
gosh.
tell us,
you are.
You have a book out, and the title is Armor Up.
No, it's Becoming the Story. The Power of Creator.
Story. Yes.
And but I will say, the ending of that, I finished that and put that out because I got breast cancer and I thought I was dying again.
Yeah.
So I kind of rushed the ending. So if you do read it and there's a few typos, because I was like, the publisher wanted me to wait a year. And I'm like, I might be dead. Sorry. And so I self-published and got it out quickly. So the tail end, there might be a typo here and there because I was on a deadline of, let me see if I live. But now I'm working on 2 other books. And again, they're on hold because I got to get my son off the ground.
Yeah, tell us. And once his books come out, please send us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will. His book is Even If, and it's about a kid with a heavy backpack that's carrying a lot of weight of problems. And then he has another book that is coming out about otters holding hands, because otters hold hands when there's, they hold hands.
Yes.
I thought of calling it Welcome Back Otter, but I don't think the older but I feel like the younger kids are going to be like, Welcome Back Otter. Why is that so funny?
Yeah.
And that's about otters and being separated from someone you love and how the rest of the community holds hands. And so they're beautifully done, and I'm so proud of them. And then my book is also kind of like The Weight of the Backpack, talking about mental health and the weight of carrying PTSD and depression that people don't see, the invisible weight.
Yeah.
The invisible backpack. Oh.
Yeah. So they're supposed to be companions, but Mom here has been too busy with his to help get mine finished.
Yeah.
It'll happen. It'll happen. You are a survivor. You are such a model and so inspirational. I love this message of, you have to be prepared, present, and prevail, because that's the way it's going to go. And knowledge is power. The more you know, the better you can armor up and the better you can be prepared.
Yeah.
So, and I think the biggest lesson I'm taking from this is, it's okay to prune the trees, to take care of yourself.
Prune the trees.
Yeah, cut back what no longer serves you. Toxic relationships, negative people, cut it back.
Cut it back.
Yeah, no matter who they are. And the my word of the year, Loriana, is less.
Less. Yes.
Less.
I need to work on that in my house. I'm trying to declutter. Less.
We can't wait to have you back on. We love you so much. We can't have. We're manifesting you in Austin. Yeah, tell us your podcast.
Well, because that's kind of been put on hold. We have some exciting things coming up with Armor Up for Life. It's stage free, and I give you a front row seat to leading experts around the world in oncology and also survivor stories. Yeah. So I have, I've had to put that on pause, but we have about 9 podcasts coming out soon once we get through some things that we're working on. And then it will be back on continuous play. But it's called Stage Free.
And on all of our platforms, it's on our pod roll. And so it's one of our recommendations on all of our platforms.
Oh, yay. Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
It's so awesome. Oh,
love you both.
I love you so much.
You're incredible. All right. Texas.
Yeehaw.